everything's going open world. God of War was a hack and slash. Dark Souls was Dark Souls, and now it's open world.
I used to believe that I had like open world fatigue kind of thing, and then you play Breath of the Wild or
Elden Ring.
and you're like, no, I'm not. I was just like,
They just all
they've just all been shit.
I put greed, duh.
Greed, duh. Yeah.
That's my note.
I mean, it's falling apart just now when it comes to like your live services and stuff like that. They're just not working.
Realistic graphics are stupid.
Yeah, completely unnecessary. Valheim looks like the prettiest PS2 game.
Yeah, wonderful. That's how you do DLC. Not like Cyberpunk, like The Witcher, ironically. The Spider-Man PS4, it ended well.
There's some great beats
Oh, yeah.
throughout it.
Oh, yeah.
It made you play with Mary Jane.
I think the only truly stupid bit in that game was when... Welcome to the Dark Side Podcast. Nope, it's the Karen Squared Podcast. Episode 13. Today we're talking about is the gaming landscape shit.
In no broad terms.
Yeah, the smallest of terms. Is it poo-poo?
Is it poo-poo?
I think we know it is poo-poo.
I mean,
Hold on. AAA Sphere.
Triple A Sphere is kind of poo-poo, but it's also like so much better than it ever was, but in a worse way.
Yeah.
Like,
whoa, obviously graphics are amazing.
Graphics are amazing. Average gameplay is still at a decent level.
But I feel like it hasn't moved on.
Yeah.
We're still very much in the...
It's the whole thing about like corporations afraid to take risks and that.
Oh, we did our whole episode on... When was Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed. Oh, that was a wee while ago. That was when we did the...
2013? 2014? 2013? No, year. What year was it?
Oh, the first Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
It's like 2011.
11, something like that? Because that was around about that
No,
time.
it was 2009, wasn't it? It was one of the 2009 ones.
Around about
that time.
the 2010s, moving on to the 10s. Wait, hold on. Around about 2010 up to like now, we've not really evolved in the AAA gaming space.
No,
In terms of the actual gameplay that's happening.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything's open. Well, everything went open world. We were kind of going there.
Yeah. Like we're on the let's homogenize every single game possible. Like it's been
I mean, I wrote some of it down where God of War was a hack and slash.
Yeah, and now it's open
pretty
world
much
wonder.
open world.
Ghost Train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark Souls was Dark Souls, and now it's open world. Now, not to say these things are bad, because Breath of the Wild is also good. I think the issue is
Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring's a one-off. Like, well, not a one-off.
so
they're going to turn it into a series, but like the Dark Souls.
you mean for FromSoft?
Yeah, for
Right,
FromSoft.
okay.
FromSoft. Yeah, no. Elden Ring itself is there's one, and I think there's a potential of a sequel.
Oh, maybe yeah.
But
it's an evidence of the everything's going open world discussion.
I mean,
That doesn't mean every open world game is, because I think it gets a little bit iffy where they're like everything's open world, and I'm like that doesn't mean they're all bad.
they're all bad. No.
It just means that everything is open world.
That's the thing. I used to believe that I had like open world fatigue kind of thing, and then you play Breath of the Wild or
Elden Ring,
and you're like, no, I'm not. I was just like,
they've just all
been shit.
They just all suck.
100%. Like I wanted to like Horizon Zero Dawn. I really did. Robot dinosaurs. Like I am there for that. Like I'm 100% there for that. But
well, it came out the same
time as Breath of the fucking Wild.
like right on the money. I think it was the same month.
Yeah.
So it was. So I remember playing it. Alana stole my Switch, so I was like, well, I'll just play Horizon Zero Dawn instead. And I was like, this is not fun. this is fucking boring. So that was shit. But yeah, I think some of them are good and some of them are bad, in terms of the overall open world fatigue syndrome.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that, because I fucking...
Like, what was it, Immortals, Legends of the Phoenix or something like that? Do you even remember that one?
Yeah, I do. Because it was on Game Pass. I tried to play it, but then it tried to make me log into Ubisoft and download something on there.
And you're like, no, thank you.
I was just like, you screwed it. You ruined it for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not playing anymore.
But it looked like someone wanted to make a pet. What's he from again? Kid Icarus.
Yeah,
it looked like they wanted to make Kid Icarus but open world.
Yeah,
and also make it the Ubisoft open world.
Yeah, it does.
I never touched it myself.
Me neither.
I fucking love Greek mythology, so I like it's something that I would
be in for.
I should have been in for, but it just looked so drab. Despite it looking so colourful, it just looked so blah.
Yeah, I know. I get it with... Is a hot take? Kind of. I get it with Spider-Man 2 when it shows the... I watched the gameplay reveal or whatever the fuck, the newest trailer.
Yeah, I'm not
shows
touching the newest one yet.
We have technology that you can upgrade and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't go... I don't care. I've had enough of here's your open world and here's your tech tree.
Yeah, here's your multiple different.
It's just that we've seen it. Like I know exactly what to expect and I know exactly what it's going to be.
I'm going to enjoy it because it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, like the movement's fun, the fighting's fun, and the story will hopefully be.
It's Spider-Man level fun. Like,
yeah,
we've had worse Spider-Man stories than Miles Morales.
Oh yeah, I was talking about even the Spider-Man PS4. I think the great thing about it was it ended well.
It ended well, and I'd say there's some great beats.
Oh yeah,
throughout it.
Oh yeah, there's some good stuff in it.
It made you play as Mary Jane.
Yeah, and Miles Morales. I think the only truly stupid bit in that game, quick side tangent, was when they were having Mary Jane's like, "I don't need you to protect me, Peter,"
and he's like, "What?"
And he's like, "Yes, I do. Yes, you do." There's lots of evil people, and they've all
I can't believe you
powers.
didn't trust me to go take out these evil people on my own. Oh, of course fucking not. I die fighting them regularly. I am so injured. Look at my ribs. Look at them.
Read a comic book. Yeah, no, he died. I had a real problem with it. And then they were texting, and I liked the
texting bit was quite fun.
I liked it. I didn't like the context and the conversation.
Yeah, but the way it was done was like
I loved the no, and then like that's how texting arguments happen. It was really good.
It really is, yeah.
It's good, but it was the around it suffered, but then it ended really strongly.
Yeah.
So and it even came together pretty well in terms of the octopus and shit like that all coming together and blah 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 blah. It was good.
The Venom symbiote being attached to fucking Harry.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Making Peter choose between. It was the trolley problem.
Yeah.
It was a simple trolley problem of save 500, 100, a lot more than that. I can't remember the specifics, but save lots of people or one, but you know the one.
Yeah.
So it was the whole thing. It was great. It was great stuff. Anyway. But yeah, I saw the
Spider-Man. I do both. It's always the case.
Oh yeah, usually like save the woman you love, or see, or
let the people die,
or watch the children. No, it's not children in a fucking box. It's literally in Spider-Man 1. He's the Green Goblin holds his girlfriend and a box full of children off of a fucking bridge. Anyway,
now
the games.
Choose. Drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My top note was AAA games suck and indies are picking up the slack. But I moved that down a little bit to the creativity part, where I'm like, I think indies are picking up the slack in terms of creativity.
100%.
Because we were just talking about all of the games have gone open world and there's not a lot of creativity in it, bar Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring.
Yeah. And the games that aren't going open world tend to be quite decent, apart from like the Ghost Train rides, for instance. I'm really enjoying Armored Core 6.
Well, there isn't a Ghost Train ride Yahtzee's thing for
like
open world stuff.
No, not necessarily semi-linear open worlds. So your Guardians of the Galaxy, your God of War, your...
Okay.
Like ones that are more like Uncharted.
Right. Oh, yeah. It just kind of takes you along.
Yeah. It's like linear storytelling, which isn't... There's no problem with that, but it's like set piece. And now have a wee wander around this area here, and now set piece. And now have a little walk towards the next set piece, and then set piece. And then like it's...
Yeah. You get taken on a wee journey.
Yeah.
Like the carnivals.
Yeah.
And goes this thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think there's some of those that could come out. Let's say Armored Core.
But yeah, Armored Core is really fun. I'm really enjoying it right now. But that's like linear mission based. It's a quick wee little bit of story. Here's this little tiny sandbox area.
Yeah.
Go fight the boss. Go have fun.
Yeah.
Really,
BMX.
I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Stop straying sometimes from the fun.
Yeah.
Something. Okay, no, I'll put it in the end as honorable mention if I remember. I put Greed.
Greed, duh.
That's my note.
100%.
Greed, duh.
But that's the thing, they're too scared to take risks.
Yeah, well, exactly. So there's no creativity, the greed part, and it's working.
Yeah.
This is a big one.
I mean, it's falling apart just now when it comes to like your live services and stuff like that. Like like they're just not working.
I didn't write down enough live services.
But like your
Avengers,
your Anthem, all that, your Destiny's working, but like people only have enough time because it's requesting so much time commitment.
Yeah. People
only have the time for like one.
Yeah, especially I guess the normie person. So the normal person works a job, has the weekend off, and has 1.5 kids. So like they don't have time for a game, so they pick, which is great. You pick one game, you play it forever. Yeah, which we had already, which was MMOs. Which is why it's kind of funny that we're going this route again. Yeah, but the live services became the next version of the MMO because like people are still going to play World of Warcraft. I think Final Fantasy 14. There's a couple of most people.
14 that sucked away a lot of the players from World of Warcraft.
Right. Okay.
And then your live services became a thing, which started off with your like Destinies and your stuff like that. And then they're trying to like make more out of it. And obviously, it's like a fight for which one becomes the best. But Destiny 2, I think, is like the one that people still go back to. They come out and be like, oh, okay, this one's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do think that was the turning point because we were really excited about that game. Everyone was. The hype was wild because it was Halo's new thing.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and it never grabbed me.
Felt good to shoot things.
Yeah. Oh, it always will. Always will. Their gunplay is...
Felt good to
yeah.
hit someone with a gun. Oh.
And I really enjoyed Destiny 2 for a little while. It's one I'd like to go back to and properly play.
Oh, there's a cat fucking with under the camera.
Oh,
it's gonna,
no.
we're good.
Oh, no.
We're good. Yeah, it's one. No, it's not. It's not what I want to go back to at all. It's not what I want to try at all.
I'd like to do the raids
me.
with you guys, like as a group. It'd be fun.
I don't think I've ever raided.
No, nor have I.
Oh, okay, right. Well, perfect. I've never raided a thing in my life.
But I've done some of the missions, and the missions are actually pretty fun, story wise, really good. As you say, the gunplay is amazing.
Yeah, it's the gunplay that I found.
And like the powers and spells and shit. It's really fun.
It's cool.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's cool. It's just the surrounding shit I just don't like that much. But yeah, I think it's working, and they're just chucking, as you say, chucking the microtransactions and Battlefront, Star Wars.
Yeah,
Battlefront 2 was the big one of like put all the stuff in. It's 400 hours to unlock,
and that was like one of the first wins for the community, not
people.
the people.
Yeah, and they were like, "Stop it!"
Like really stop it.
Yeah, and but it's that thing where they edge forward, move back, edge forward, move back, but they never go back to zero. They're about 10%.
Like, do you remember
DLC was the thing? Remember everyone hated DLC.
DLC to start off with 100%, like fucking horse armor in Oblivion.
Oblivion, yeah, it was
mental.
350 for horse armor. That's what stupid.
People were like, no, this will never catch on.
Now it's normal.
But do you remember the fight against pre-owned games?
What, so like fucking 2013 Xbox?
Yeah,
the thing that they never recovered from.
No. Before that. Not the Xbox One stuff. Before that, when like Assassin's Creed, like when the publishers, not the consoles. So like the publishers of different games were like, we're sick of people buying pre-owned, so we're going to put stuff in. Like Arkham City and Assassin's Creed Revelations are two of the big ones that are... No, Brotherhood and Revelations. Anyway,
what is it?
So they locked content behind like a code that you had to put in if you bought it new. So
what?
Catwoman
yeah,
was if you bought Arkham City non-pre-owned, you got the Catwoman DLC.
What?
And if you bought it pre-owned, you had to pay a little bit extra to the publisher because publishers don't get money from pre-owned sales. So that they could do it. Assassin's Creed Revelation locked the multiplayer behind this. So did Mass Effect 3. No, not Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 actually had it was broken on Mass Effect 3. There's 2 discs from Mass Effect 3 on the Xbox version, not on the PlayStation 3. But on the Xbox version, the multiplayer was on both discs. So you could just give a friend disc 1 and...
Oh, shit.
It was fucking amazing. I was so happy that me and Lewis got so much mileage out of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
Fucked up there.
But the other ones were like hiding it behind like a code that you had to
put into the
thing before... Anyway, Assassin's Creed multiplayer, like...
I vaguely remember that, yeah. Because was that not just DLC?
They locked off lots of bits from the game. So like it was the multiplayer, it was, again, the Catwoman stuff.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
But I remember Catwoman, but I thought that was DLC. Or did they later release it as DLC?
No, sorry, no. Every part was broken off as part of a DLC. It was just you got it. If you bought it unpre-owned, you didn't have to pay the DLC price.
Oh, okay. Got you. Yeah. Yeah, that's lame. Right, that's why we kicked up... Sorry, it's all coming back to me. That's why we kicked up a fuss.
Yeah.
Because the content was there and it was done and you're locking it away from us. Yeah. Whereas we don't mind DLC... if you make the game and then you make more of the game after the game is released and then you give us it.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I don't mind paying for more game.
For more game, 100%.
But I don't like paying for 95.
Unless you're Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk's on this list for things.
I refuse.
Yeah.
I didn't even pay for it to begin with. I don't even care.
I did. And I'm not paying for it again. But what I was saying? Yeah, that's how you do DLC. Not like Cyberpunk. Like The Witcher. Ironically. The Witcher. You bring out DLC that's like, here's another fucking game.
Yeah, whole ass game. Yeah. Or here's a little mission pack, and now here's an actual game.
Yeah, there was like 16 free DLCs, and then they released 2 big paid ones, which I thought was really good. Which I don't know how they fucked up so hard. But I have on here realistic graphics are stupid.
Yeah, completely unnecessary. Like,
stupid.
But that again, that's part of the umbrella industry with the graphics cards and the tech.
You got to push the tech, so we need the tech, so you can buy the tech.
Yeah,
but they could push it because I was thinking of that. I don't know if people don't understand. But the tech companies are pushing technology, obviously, so that they can sell the highest level graphics card to the people that want the highest level graphics card.
Yeah.
But why would you buy it if you don't need it? It's quite literally it's a need and want thing, right?
Yeah.
Some people want it, but you want to get the people that want it and need it.
Yeah.
So if you bring out, what's the new game that just came out?
Starfield?
Just go with Cyberpunk, whatever the fuck, right? Cyberpunk with its big city and it's pretty shit and it's fucking breaking things when everyone plays it. Yeah, so everyone's like, I'm so hyped for this. I want it. I'll need to go get the new graphics card and the new things so I can get as much out of the game as I can.
Yeah.
So they're incentivizing each other. Like push the technology with the consoles and the graphics so that people have to buy the game. Sorry, have to buy the tech too.
Yeah.
So as I say, it's an umbrella. It's a little feedback loop. So they're going for realistic graphics. That's what they're choosing to do, which I think is really silly. But there's many reasons why it's silly.
Yeah.
Namely, I think art style is not.
So people get credited for being art directors in realistic looking games, and that's just fucking stupid.
It pisses me off. Like, you have eyes. Well done.
Well done.
But it's silly because the push for realistic graphics is going to outdate it.
100%. Because all the time, and like you'll look back at like other games, and they'll just look semi shit.
Yeah, exactly. Wind Waker, great.
It still looks gorgeous to this fucking day.
Factorio looks good. It's got a cute like.
It's got its own art style. It's pixelist. Yeah, it's like.
But Project Zomboid is the same.
But again,
kind of
that's using the. What's good about Factorio in that regard is it's using the. It's not using the CPU and the GPU. It's not using the thing.
Yes.
It's using it to make it better as a game. We want a Dead Rising that looks exactly like Dead Rising 2.
Exactly.
But with fuck tons of zombies.
Well, Dead Rising was my point. It's like we've got a good point. Give it a funny art style. He's kind of a little bit out of proportion and he's a little bit of a cartoony face. But then they just pack the screen full of zombies. Like that's what you should use the tech for.
Valheim looks like the prettiest PS2 game.
Yeah, wonderful. And then Zomboid's the same thing. I put a mod on the other night, by the way. That was Horde Night, and I forgot I had it on.
Oh,
and I'm playing on 6 months later, which means all the water's shut off. There's insane zombies everywhere, and I'm also really underweight, feeble, and my character is ass. But I left Horde Night mode on, so I was like, okay, here comes the Horde Night. So spears are really strong, so I get some spears. I make 10 spears. I put them in my backpack somehow, and then I walk outside ready to face the Horde, and I think 100 came, and I was me in my little backpack, and my backpack full of spears. Like, I can't kill this man. So I walked away. Walked away from my base of like 3 hours. Anyway, but that's use the tech because you could do Cyberpunk, make it more art styly and less realistic. Like everyone knows what I mean when they say art styly.
Yeah.
Right? Like Sable, do you remember that game? There was a
Sable's gorgeous. Yeah, it's based off of what do we call it? One of my dad's favorite artists, Mobius.
Yes, Mobius.
Yeah.
Or Mobius. Yeah, however you say it.
I think it's either
that guy.
My dad always said Mobius, but he did what was it, Silver Surfer?
Yep.
And
his stuff's
it's so fucking good. And that game, I've only played snippets of it, but like when you take off in your like jet engine and like the sand just like bursts up and it's like swirls.
Yeah, no, it's pretty.
It's fucking gorgeous.
Like in 20, 30, 50 years, that game will still look good.
Yeah.
It might look, because I played actually Xenoverse. I played Xenoverse and I was like, it looks okay. It looks dated, but it looks okay.
Yeah.
It looks
like Kakarot looks fucking stunning. Like
Kakarot's pretty as fuck.
But
so was Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
Did you ever see like the jump? Because like Kakarot came out on like Xbox One, and then did you see the jump between the Xbox One and the Xbox One X?
No.
They did a extra version that just looks more gorgeous, and somehow they made it look so much prettier. And like, how could you even do that?
Yeah. How did they do that?
It was so good. Like they just added a little bit more extra foliage. They added on like some shaders that made it just like shine nice enough.
Yeah,
it's fucking gorgeous.
It's kind of like ray tracing. When you put ray tracing on, you're like, whoa, this looks a lot better. What the fuck? I didn't think that was coming.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts. But yeah, I got oopsies.
That's one thing they said about the new Spider-Man, which I'm quite interested about.
Well,
ray tracing is available in 60 FPS and quality mode.
That's cool. Someone said, was it someone else? I can't remember. I saw one that was like, we shouldn't push for 60 frames per second.
No, that's
30 was fine. And I was like, I think 60 is good, please.
No. Once you start utilizing 60, 30
and then you go back.
Longer,
I know. You can't do it. It's like going back to 720.
Yeah.
I remember we used to think 720 was fucking.
Remember we could play four player split screen on 720.
Not even
360.
It wasn't even.
It was 360 we did it on. It was fucking insane. How did we do that?
I don't know. I don't know. So you can't go back. You can't.
But that's the thing. 4K, if you like, 4K split screen would be 1080p per
per person.
Per person.
Yeah, no.
Why did they get rid of split screen at this most opportune time?
Got rid of it. I know, it's so fucking silly. But yeah, I think. But then we could bring split screen back. Because you're not
like they will. No, they want you to buy more game, more copies of the game.
True.
Play at your own house.
I know.
Each buy a console. Each buy a good TV. Each buy
Umbrella.
Umbrella.
But yeah, I think if you get rid of, say, the GPU thing was like you could still push the market. You could still push it like you need the technology. Because look at these zombies, and it's like 1 million.
Exactly.
Like you could still push it, or you could say, but then it would save the graphics, which would save the development time. Because that's what we're getting back. That's my next.
Did you ever play the Matrix Reloaded thing?
Which one?
The demo that came out to like up Unreal Engine 5.
No.
So that game looked amazing, and like the cars were like packing the streets because like something they did with the graphics technology on that.
What are you talking about?
There's this demo thing that came out in like the PlayStation. It was like a Matrix mission. Like all it was like the fight from Matrix 2, where they're driving and they're going like the freeway and shit like that.
Yeah, the motorway.
But it was like packed with cars. It was like the gunplay.
I don't
was
remember this at all. I have no idea what we're talking about.
I'll need to get it found and downloaded and play it at some point because I never played it. But it looks gorgeous, and somehow they had that good graphics and
the cars.
Yeah.
But I was gonna go to good graphics. Fuck with development time.
Yeah.
And by that I mean make it longer.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously the companies see a trend where they're like it's working. So add it on. But then the people who are making the games obviously are like, so it's just taking it too long.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, you can't work on a game for 8 years because Zomboid is great because it has tons of shit in it where you can sew your clothes, you can sew your clothes, you can sow seeds, you can hit zombies, you can fucking find a butter knife, put it on a spear and tie it on. Do you know what I mean? Like you can like do stuff in the game. There's so much intricacy in the game because they didn't worry about the graphics. More focused on shit that can happen in the game.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like they decided their art style like hella early on, didn't they? Like
well, it was ugly as fuck before.
What?
I'll show you before. It was,
like,
well, I say ugly as fuck. It was like 2D sprites.
Okay,
so it was like running around and stuff, and then they upped it to
3D later on. Yeah,
but animation update they called it.
Okay,
so it was just really.
But that was like they set how they liked it. And then did all the things with it. And then they're like, okay, we can do it better. And now we upgrade. Yeah.
But obviously, as they're saying, companies, it's another reason for indie picking up the slack. Because AAA are like, we need to get the whole game finished really, really pretty in about 5 years so we can make our money back and give it to the people. Where indie developers are like, we'll put it out early access to support us and we'll make it better.
Yeah.
Which is potentially
here's the roadmap. Like this is what we want to do.
Potentially a better business model, and also it's better for the game for a final product. Because after 11 years of development, you end up with an amazing game. The Dwarf Fortress, or that shit.
Yeah, I still to touch that. Like
it's fucking like playing ASCII. So it's out on Steam now.
Yeah, because they released the now we have graphics. Now we have models.
It's not just fucking Microsoft Excel. It's playing a real game. But it had so much stuff. Like they implemented cats. And then remember they implemented cats, and then the cats.
I've only heard little bits of stories and
cats, and then the cats just kept dying, and then they were like, "Well, what's the bug?" And then they just implemented beer, and then beer would spill on the floor, and the cats would walk on it, get it on their paws, and then lick themselves and get drunk. But the units were proportioned for dwarfs, so they would keep licking their paws and then die of alcohol poisoning. So they had to start modulating how the shit worked. So it was, and it's like, how do you end up with this? And he's like, well, I've been working on the game for 10 years. And it's because it's ASCII graphics, I can just go, oh, that'd be cool, and I can just add it. I don't need to animate and 3D graphic and just to get all the people. You just go in. So the less intense you make the graphics, the more you can put in the game.
Do with it, 100%.
And obviously, it's a game. I want to play it and have more shit to do. But then it's like, I want a pretty game that has a lot of stuff in it. And the industry's decided pretty game is more important than lots and lots of shit in it. Even though they've done lots of shit, but it's also shallow shit.
Yeah.
Because that would be the next point. It's not, they've put a lot of stuff in
there's
it,
lots of fights in God of War.
Yeah. Oh, Assassin's Creed Valhalla was one I was thinking of. It's like, go over here, spend 2 minutes listening to a guy talk about fucking onions or something, and then you go pick up boxes and put them somewhere else. And it's like, hey, you did a side quest. I'm like, no, I didn't. I wasted time. Like, that's what happened.
A full-on waste of time.
You know?
Yeah.
So they've made it. I was saying, wide as a ocean, shallow as a puddle. Right?
You didn't see that one, but that sounds good. Yeah.
Oh, cool. And then games, Project Zomboid's gone like wide as an ocean and as deep as an ocean.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh,
so they went depth first and then widen. Yeah.
Yeah, because Factorio is the same.
Yeah.
At the moment you play it and you're like, holy fuck, I haven't done, like you play it again and you're like, I've never thought about belting this way before. Like the one you were like, put the one on and I was complaining about the whole time. And now I'm like, this actually might be better. Because look, we did this and
Then we
solved.
can do that, and then we can.
It's solved. And it's like, oh, new ways to play the game. So it's finding your own, that's a little bit more like finding your own fun, but there's still more stuff in it. But you can't have the big graphics and the stuff.
Yeah.
You can't have a pretty art style and all the stuff.
But that's the thing, you can apply the graphics to certain things. Like Mortal Kombat 1 looks fucking stunning, and because it's because it's a fighting game,
I
it's
was like,
simple.
I was like, what? The rotoscoped one?
No. I mean, that worked at the time.
It was okay.
It saved like so much memory, so they could focus on like shit and stuff.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
They should have done.
That's So first, obviously, the graphics would be good for that because it's such a small scale thing.
Yeah,
like you got to develop the fighting, get that sorted, and then
get your
chuck as much graphics as you want.
Get your balance and sort it out, and then make it pretty. There's like two things happening.
Yeah, exactly. And like do a story, brilliant. It looks gorgeous, fantastic.
Yeah,
story's actually really fun so far. I'm really enjoying it. But side note, but back to that thing. Why don't game developers compress their files anymore? It does my head in.
Why don't they?
Because they can get away with it now. Because everyone's got terabyte hard drives. They're like, I don't need to worry about compressing this file. I don't need to worry about making this perfect.
It's an extra. I wonder how much extra work. I need a developer friend. Oh wait, I have one. I think William's got a mate.
Nice. Okay.
Be like, why the fuck don't explain your fucking profession, please? Why don't you?
Why have you not been compressing?
You speak for your industry. You fuck. Explain. But no, I agree. They need to compress their files. Optimization as well.
Optimization.
Oh, I just have that there. Unfinished games.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I think piggybacking off all of the shit we've been talking about, where it's the graphics and the stuff, they're just like, 4 years, we need it, get out.
Yeah.
And they release it and go, it's busted. Cyberpunk, not The Witcher. Oh, what's this? Last of Us, God of War, Spider-Man, Avengers, Elden Ring, Jedi Survivor, Callisto Protocol are all games that did not need to be as pretty as they were. Callisto Protocol, no need.
Yeah.
I watched it. I watched you play it, and I was like, this is just, nothing's happening. It's just a pretty game. Jedi Survivor, busted the PCs. All of them. Busted the PCs. Elden Ring, different.
All of them.
Elden Ring probably shouldn't be on this list. It must have been an accident.
No. Elden Ring was...
It's pretty, but it doesn't need to be pretty.
Yeah, but that was the thing.
Demon
Souls, Demon Souls got released recently before Elden Ring. So Demon Souls, the remake, wasn't handled by From Software.
Right.
So when Demon Souls released, it is one of the most fucking gorgeous games.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
But it was developed solely for the PS5, so they didn't have to worry about like optimizing it for multiple different systems and blah blah blah.
It's the systems, it's the different configurations of different.
Exactly. Why? But because of how pretty that was, FromSoft looked at it and were like, "Shit, we need to up our graphics game," because they were gonna release Elden Ring and like.
Was that maybe why it fucked up on the PC?
Potentially.
Because it was fucked up on the PC. Like,
I remember hearing about that, yeah.
Oh boy, couldn't play it. Didn't play anyway, but couldn't play it. Avengers was really quite pretty.
Yeah.
But don't do that.
That's Phoenix for you.
That's
Phoenix for you.
I don't know, fix the game. Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, Witcher. Like, I don't think these games need to be pretty. Give us an art style and calm down.
I mean, Witcher was perfectly, like...
Well, clearly it came out and it was good.
Yep, and it was big enough that it wasn't an issue. They worked hard enough on that game that they can make it as pretty as they want. They focused on everything else around it first.
Yeah,
and got that done.
Completely sidetracked though. What the fuck were they talking about?
What were we talking about? We were talking about optimization. We were talking about unfinished games.
Yeah, so it was Avengers and Cyberpunk and all that shit because they just need to get the game out and then they'll fix it later.
Yeah,
obviously, which is it's just
stupid.
So
stop it.
Yeah,
stop it.
Because then stop it. Because then they keep adding the updates, which adds to this file size, which adds to the optimization.
And then they don't worry about like compressing it later on and be like, oh, okay, why is no game developer be like, okay, we're going to release an update to shrink
the game,
make it compress.
Would you have to re-download the game?
No, surely not.
Oh.
Surely it would just come out with like an update, right? And it'd be like, here's a gigabyte update, and then let it configure, and then it goes down to developer friends. We need developer friends.
I know. Yeah, I don't fucking know how that works. Computers are weird, and I don't get them, so I don't understand. I have fast travel on here. I was just like,
is that because of your Starfield's hatred?
No, I think it was just I don't like it. Like if you put fast travel in your game and I use it, you fucked up. Do you know what I mean? Like Breath of the Wild, Spider-Man. I was like, oh, fast travel. I'm not using that. I'm having a great time.
Breath of the Wild, I did. So if I'm on the other side of the map and I've got like a story thing to do over here, I teleport to the tower and then fly.
No, I was like, I'm gonna go over that mountain and I'm gonna see what I find because there's so much shit to find when you just go. So I was like, I wanted to obviously hyperbolic statement, but the idea being that the traversal in the actual game itself is fun.
Yeah,
I'm not just holding forward and going.
Yeah,
especially in Breath of the Wild. I'm like, shit, there's a mountain.
How do I get through?
How can I go through? I guess I go left a bit, then make my way up here and find a potion and do a thing. Oh, a cork seed. Oh, a dungeon. I might as well do the dungeon first. Then I'll come back and shit, a stone.
Like I would teleport back to
like
certain areas to like drop off quest items and stuff like that.
It's a long time since I played the game. I can't remember if I did.
Yeah,
I think by the end of it, I was shooting around the place.
Yeah,
do you know. But
like, that's
fine. I've done. Start off. I'm just going.
Yeah,
go and play.
Yeah,
Spider-Man. Obviously, traversal is amazing. Never did it.
I think that's usually the last trophy that I got in most of my because I've platinumed the game twice.
What's the last trophy?
Spider-Man would be the subway system. Like
yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, forgot about that. It's but not everyone can do open world. Is basically what I'm getting at here. Yeah, the fast travel system. You need to sort that shit out. Making your own fun is one I've got here, which indie games are doing and AAA are not. They're trying to tell us stories and stuff like that, which I feel like doesn't...
Absolutely fine. They're trying to make good books.
I got it. Hold it. Yeah. Like when you watch a movie, what was the last one I had? Star Wars. It was the example that springs to mind was when you meet Luke and he's like, I had the Jedi, then I trained Kylo and he went evil, and then Snoke came out and started fucking with shit, turned him evil rather, and then we had a big fight and then all the Jedi fucking died. No, I was like why? I want to watch that movie.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck am I here at the moment playing this bit?
Yeah.
But I think movies suffer from that problem. Video games do not suffer from that problem.
Because you play the bit.
Because you're playing the thing. Like Elden Ring obviously is the best one, where you're going about and you're like, everything's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's all over. What's happening? And then you kind of
and you're
wander
piecing
around,
it all together.
And you piece it. But you do it. You're that shit might
your
be...
involvement in the story is your choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that shit behind us might be more exciting.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change because we're playing it. And that's a very unique thing to video games because we're doing it. Whereas movies suffer from that problem.
Yeah.
Where they tell you a really interesting backstory. And I'm like, I want to watch that.
I 100% want to watch that.
So I think... So it's kind of like being in a world and finding your own fun, or piecing together the story not the same way we are told a story. Because you can get away with, you don't need a beginning or an end, you need a game.
Yeah.
Like just the middle bit where you play
the middle bit, yeah. Obviously the beginning and the end are important parts. Like any story.
Well, we just had a conversation about this, the good intros and good tutorials. Good intro was Shadow of Mordor.
Oh yeah,
which I completely forgot about, and it's really fucking good. Do you remember it?
Stealth kiss your wife.
Yeah, like when you teach your son how to fight, and then you're like, I'm not learning, he is.
Yeah,
but I'm learning that.
You're learning the mechanics.
I'm getting a character development because the son isn't good at fighting, but he's at the age where he's starting to learn, and then Talion he's over cocky. Because he's like, I can get you, Dad, and you're just like pressing triangle, and you fuck him up. And then he's like,
you're learning.
Exactly. And then you just learn to stealth to go up, and then it comes up, says assassinate your wife or something.
It's kiss.
Sorry, stealth kiss. Is that what it said? I thought it was like kill you. Anyway, so you go up and then you give her a kiss, and you're like, oh, that's how stealth works.
Yeah.
But then you're learning that that's their playful marriage type thing. And also you're like, they're all gonna die, but it doesn't pretend like you don't know that.
Yeah.
Because the reason you teach your son to fight and he's overconfident, you're like, fuck.
Oh, what have I done?
He's gonna die. Because then when the orcs start fighting, you're watching like one of them's gonna get him.
Yeah.
Because I just taught you and I know you're overconfident.
And
then they die, obviously, and then Talion's ready to die, and then he doesn't die, then he comes back, and then you're in the game. He's like, here's Mordor, kill everyone. And then, you know what I mean? I'm like, thank you, game. I got to play the game with the intro, see something harrowing, get my context, and then go.
Yeah.
And then fuck stuff up. And then his rage.
And what's good is that, like that.
His brutality fits. It's not brutality for brutality's sake. Like when he's screaming and kills someone 3 times, like he stabs them in the stomach, stabs them like through the neck, pulls out and chops their head off. And you're like, whoa. But of course you are.
But there's context there, 100%.
Everything's been taken from him, and he's screaming like bloody rage. And I'm like, this is a character. It's not just, I am rageful man with long hair and probably Aragorn.
And that. And that worked well for God of War as well, because obviously they had the context in the previous games.
Yeah, where he is a rage monster, but he's trying to,
and he's like keeping it in. That was so good for like that's
the first rage bit. Where he goes,
and
then the veins was too much anime. No, not too much graphics once again, but it looked good.
Yeah,
veins were popping.
The veins were popping.
Yeah, but he kept the context. It was good.
But again, that's story wise. God of War
was really good.
Fucking amazing.
It's really
like,
good.
It's really
It's
good.
really good. Like we say, you need to. I don't know if we know if we need to clarify, but it's a good point. Like we're like, no, make a game like Elden Ring or Breath of the Wild where something's happened and we are piecing it together. But that's not to say these other games aren't bad at stories. They are good stories. Like,
100%,
Dead's a good story. God of War is a good story.
God of War would be a great movie. Last of Us would be a great movie.
Yeah, they don't. Well, it was a good TV show.
Yeah,
I watched it. It was good.
I never watched it. Yeah,
It was good. It did indeed make a good TV show. They had to tweak some things, but it was good.
But I imagine that there's some bits in God of War that felt good to play, like the fighting
Baldur or the dragon.
Oh,
Well, actually, the dragon's
other
really
guy, with the eyes.
Oh, Heimdall.
That fight was amazing.
Yeah, that guy was great. Yeah, it's overwhelming with furious punches.
Yeah.
That's the kind of context I love. It's very Dragon Ball Z. Just hit him harder together. You know what I mean? Like it's some simple shit where it's like, how do you beat Heimdall? You punch him. You punch him faster, and then eventually he can't dodge all of them. So we won. No, I liked it. I think it was really good as well. Like again, they
and then the first time you fight him as Atreus as well.
Yeah, nothing's working.
Nothing's landing. Nothing's
awesome.
landing. You're hitting all the combos and you're like, haha, I've been doing great with these combos up until it. Why is it not landing? No, stop.
Yeah, and that shit
Keeps
does
catching my arrows.
Yeah, and that stuff does feel good
Yeah.
because it does feel good. The other problem I had with God of War is that you can break it.
That's one thing I don't like about like the
That's a design
Dragon
problem.
Ball Z games. And like some of the fighting ones where like you fight a fight you're not supposed to win. You absolutely destroy this guy, and then it cuts to the cutscene and you're just like, haha, oh no.
Yeah, anime games suffer with that. But it's the congruency between the story and the gameplay.
Yeah.
Right? It's not lunar dissonance quite, or actually,
Yeah.
I think
it's just telling a story that's already been told.
So you have to turn out a certain way.
Yeah.
So I
But
think
half the guy just beat you. Like,
it
have it be an overwhelming force.
It happens in...
Have it be nearly impossible to take this guy out. So when you do come back and kick his ass,
might piss in something. Don't do that. She might piss in my bag.
no, we can't.
So
be
like
having
she
that.
was about to fucking square up, and she's done it before.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Right. What? Yeah, they do it all the time these
Yeah.
days. Like Chrono Trigger and shit like that, where you're not supposed to win, then it's weird.
Although I think Chrono Trigger, if you're not supposed to win but you win, it still does the thing anyway. But it's like, well done, you won.
Okay,
Because
they're a different game.
because
I know there are anime games where it does what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's primarily
anything.
like anime games where it's an anime.
Hold on, JRPGs.
JRPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not anime games, because they're not specifically anime games.
No, but it's anime games that primarily do it. JRPGs don't usually.
Oh yeah, because it's a story.
Yeah.
Correct. Sorry, I'm
It's a
completely
story that's
out
already
of
been
the
told.
fucking loop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in.
And like movie games as well. Like if they make
Yeah, you have to do it a certain way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the antithesis to games.
exactly.
Where I'm supposed to, because now that leads us right on to Sea of Thieves, Factorio, Barotrauma. Like, all these games, the story is the story that you create by playing the game.
Yeah.
You know, like Sea of Thieves doesn't have a, well, actually, it does have story now. But most of the time,
Hey, well done, Rare.
Good job. Most of the time, the game for me is, I got on a ship with you, Cameron, you, Alana, or whoever, and we get up to shit, and then
We'll find another Cameron. It'll be fine.
there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Factorio is me and you trying to take on the whole bugs
Yeah.
and bring freedom and
Freedom to the
colonization
planet,
to
yeah.
the fucking planet. What's the other one I had in here? Zomboid is one where me and Alana are doing a thing. We're trying to build a farm
Yeah.
because we just
Well, you're creating the stories yourself.
yeah, like to by interacting with the game, the stories kind of happen, which is a different thing from like you can tell me a story
Yeah.
because we have Escape from the Oberdin, Return of the Oberdin,
Return of the yeah.
which is a story
I'm
you
dying
turn,
to play that one
you turn
properly.
up in and
Yeah.
you're like, what's the story?
What the
What's
fuck is going
pieces?
on here? Yeah.
Elden Ring's another one where you play. There is a story for you in the game itself, but there's
Yeah, but
also an
Like here,
overarching-
you go play the game, get as immersed as you want to be.
yeah.
It's done
fucking
really
simple.
well, and like you just skip all the skip all the dialogue. Why am I fighting this thing? I don't care.
I don't
Stab the big bitch.
Care bosses. I like killing things. And I think that's the end of my notes. Oh, hold on. I think he said something I disagreed with.
Ooh.
He said audiences. Okay, so like a new trailer comes out, and then audiences are like, "Bah, it looks ugly." So I dislike it. Down, vote, which I think does happen. But I think the problem is not the audience. I think it's the developer. Not because the game looks because he said the game even looks slightly outdated, which I think is true. But the problem is it's because it looks ugly. Because we're doing the realism thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
Where it's like they make it realistic, and then obviously it doesn't meet the standard of what we're
expecting.
Saying. Like they're saying that we're not saying it. They're saying it. So I'm like, hey, I know you. If you're going for realistic, and then you show us not good realistic, we're like, shite. But if they turned Wind Waker around on us, we'd be like,
Looks fine.
awesome.
I mean, they didn't when it first came out.
Yeah,
people hated it, but they were wanting the realistic thing. So it's like
we wanted more.
Their
whatever was before that.
No, so
before that.
So before that was Ocarina of Time.
Right,
one thing that they did was they released when the GameCube came out, they released a trailer for a realistic looking Zelda. Of like Link fighting Ganondorf, and it looked fucking sick, and they were like, "Oh, I can't wait for this game to come out." And then they released the Wind Waker, and and everyone's like, "Oh, I want the real." Yeah,
might have been the mistakes on the expectation setting, I suppose.
And then after it came out, everyone was like, "Game's the shit. This game's
really
amazing." Yeah.
But no, I think it might.
And then they got Twilight Princess after, which was what they wanted
before, which people don't like as much as Wind Waker. I'm pretty sure.
Twilight Princess is still quite good, but
I don't know if people remember it as fondly as Wind Waker.
I think
I'm not sure.
Every Zelda game is looked on fondly, apart from Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
So it was
got 10 out of 10 in my gen though.
Oh, it's hilarious. No, but this was everyone had this problem though. This wasn't just an IGN issue. Yeah, the game released and everyone's like, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great.
Like
wait,
Force
is it great, guys? Is it great?
Force Awakens is one. The same thing happened. We were like, woo!
Yeah.
Star Wars, and then we were like, actually, hold on a minute.
No, but that's the thing. Like for Force Awakens, for me, I said it from the start, and I will repeatedly say it. The next two movies will make that movie a good movie.
I still disagree with you. If the Force Awakens was good and the second one was bad, that doesn't change. It doesn't make the first one bad.
No. So the thing was that Force Awakens was such a good setup movie.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
But depending on what it's setting up for, whether or not that was a worthwhile experience.
It could set up something and then drop
it was still fun. There's still enjoyable moments. There was still.
No, wait, hold on. I know the actual movie was bad, but let's say the actual movie was good.
The actual movie was alright. It wasn't bad.
It was pretty fucking bad. Nothing made sense.
It was just a retread of New Hope.
No, but nothing made sense. It was like you're telling me in 30 years. No, but like when you set up something, it's set up. It's like, how did the Empire become this big, and how did it's fine. That's set up. Like we have to assume that it is the way it. Not even have to assume it is the way it is.
Yeah.
But then 30 years later, you're telling me all of it went to shit. The Empire
came back
to full swing to the point where the rebellion is so small. They also have an army of children. They said, remember, they're child soldiers trained to adults. And I'm like, wait. You've only been around like 30 years.
How have you done
that math doesn't check out. It's like shit like that. That doesn't make sense. It's like stuff that.
To be fair, when it comes to like Star Wars, I never really pay attention to like the back stuff. I usually just be like, oh, the sword fights are cool.
Well, you don't need to because it wasn't front and center.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. But then when they do another one, they're like, it's been like 30 years and we're back.
And we've got a bigger Death Star. It's a planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, wait, how did you build that without someone going, ah?
But that's the thing. Like, there's a lot that was overlookable depending on how good the next movies were. That's
fair.
Like, there's a lot that you could.
That's a fair point.
I
overlook a lot in Naruto, for example.
Yeah,
I overlook a lot of problems in that.
You can overlook so much from that movie depending on how good the next two movies are. The next two movies were shocking.
So then we go back and go, okay.
Yeah, no, it's
not worth the mistakes.
Exactly.
Okay,
like there's a lot of potential in that first movie, and if they'd set like all the setup that they went for, if they'd like paid it off right, that movie could be considered.
It might have been okay. Yeah.
Because like A New Hope isn't that great.
I agree with. I still disagree. I think is that great? I think it's good.
It's good.
I watched
but it isn't that
My
great.
issue with it is
but the next couple of movies make it a better movie.
No, I just think Empire's really fun good.
Yeah, no, Empire's amazing. Empire is amazing.
I just think it's really good.
100.
I found New Hope's pacing to be funky, but I do know that George Lucas wrote it, and then I think his wife was fucked with the good stuff. Like she fucked with it and made the bad stuff good. Hard to explain. Like she made a lot of choices that made it good, and then when we look at Empire, she did the same
Have you
thing.
seen like
so when she left, I think he divorced her, and then he did the new ones. I was like, oh, she was actually he's the ideas guy.
Yeah,
like he's the fucking ideas guy, and his ideas are stellar.
His ideas are great, and his visuals are stunning.
Oh yeah, like the world feels real. That's what always got me when I watched New Hope. I was like, the pacing's funny, but this feels like it's all supposed to be here.
Yeah,
we're getting very off topic and talking about Star Wars.
I know. Talking about movies. This is a game show, Cameron. A game.
Games. The last point I had is creative ideas. Like they aren't expensive. They're just take so much time.
No, they are expensive. That's the thing.
It's a risk money-wise.
Yeah. It's a risk that they can't.
They're expensive in time, and time is money. Blah 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 blah. But it's like they're not being creative because there's too much risk involved.
But there's guaranteed money making sequels, rehashing old games,
live services,
all these are like guaranteed money.
We didn't even talk about sports games. Like we didn't even talk about FIFA or the other one, NBA
or WWE or
well, WWE is not in the same topic.
It kind of is.
No, FIFA comes out every year and makes like billions. WWE does not come out every year and does not make billions.
It doesn't make billions, but it does make millions.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, 100%.
I don't think it does.
Okay.
I do not think it does.
This is something we should double check, because otherwise what's the point of making it every year?
With WWE?
Yeah.
They don't make it. They stopped,
do.
I thought.
No, they stopped for 1 year and then they're like, back in.
I thought they stopped.
No, they stopped for 8 years. And now they're back to, that was, I think, 2021? Or is it 2022? I think it was 2022. There was no 2022, but there was a WWE 2023.
Cool. So check for me. See what WWEs there are. We're at the end now, so if someone's in. If they're in, made this long, they're in. So,
thank you for staying on, my friend. We like you.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I would check that because I think obviously they fucking suck. Those kind of games.
Oh, you take that back.
What?
They do not fucking suck. No. Sports games can be.
Hold on, not the gameplay.
Yeah, because it's like just the fact that they release it every year.
In the context of the topic of the video, where are the AAA gamings kind of broken and poo-poo? Yes. FIFA just releases the same game and kids pay billions and billions of dollars in the game and they release the same game every year. But that doesn't necessarily mean the game itself is bad. It's just they keep making people pay an extra 60 quid to play the same game again. You know, and then everyone looks at them and goes, they make so much money. Can we do that? And then, you know, they try and shove it into places where it doesn't necessarily fit. Let alone all the bloody what's it called? Not star cards. FIFA pack things?
The Ultimate Team packs.
Yeah,
like,
you make a lot of money. It's gambling, basically.
Yeah. Oh,
blah, blah. Not necessarily that they're bad. But WWE hasn't been good for years, the games.
No.
What last one was good?
The last one.
What was the last one?
The 2K23, 22.
I don't believe
23.
You. I don't believe you for a bloody second.
So they rehashed all the gameplay things. And
I know, I don't believe you for a second. I don't believe you for a bloody second.
It's the most well-received one for ages.
I didn't even know it existed. Kind of that well received. I got my ear to the grindstone. I got my ear to the grindstone. Haven't seen a bloody thing.
So the last one that was considered really good was 2K14.
Yeah. Fucking what? Almost 10 years ago.
Before that. Before 2022.
Okay, cool. They had a break of 9 years. Great games, Cameron. Great games.
Back up. The games were not like they were just the same shit. There's issues.
A couple of them were broken, I think. 2019 or 2020.
I think 2019 was shocking.
Was it? Yeah, it was
absolutely god awful.
Because they can be good. The problem is they can. I don't know how much money they make, but they don't make it. Anyway, the point is because they can be good.
Yeah,
hitting things with chairs and throwing things off of cages. Actually, honestly, WWE is ripe for video game.
100%.
It's just like,
but that was the issue. They became simulation games as opposed to becoming
video games.
Yeah, and that's like some.
Yeah, because it's not a sport.
They made it more arcadey in the most recent ones. But no, they went for the sports appeal because that's the best way for them to make money. Essentially, like FIFA doing that kind of thing, updating the rosters year on year.
It's not a sports game. It's not sports. It's something else. What's it called? Like, what is WWE? It's like they're
sports
not
entertainment.
Sports entertainment, right? Yeah. It's not sports.
Yeah,
it's the sports.
But it's always been played like a sport. Like it's like that's what they're the verisimilitude that they keep for the crowd.
Yeah,
always show it off like it's a sport. Like referees will call it like
like it's a referee, but it's sports entertainment, which means you're
putting on a show for people.
But it's not a sport. You know what I mean? It's decided who's winning, who's not. That's the antithesis of sport.
But in the games, obviously...
Well, that's actually the fixing a game is kind of what they call that. It's bad.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about a game, you shouldn't make it a sim.
Oh, 100%.
Because you're not trying to like win or lose necessarily. You're trying to do
apart from the big fans that are trying to do like that love the GM modes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is like,
but it's like
but that's like Football Manager.
You're trying to do spectacle.
Yeah,
like when you look at sports entertainment, you're trying to do spectacle.
Yeah,
so you gotta move away from simulation and towards arcade of like, wow, I did cool shit and it's fun and technical and shit.
And then they
tactical.
Released Battlegrounds and that was shocking.
Battlegrounds?
WWE Battlegrounds. It looked kind of like All Stars, but it was also a live service game.
Okay, cool.
It was stupid.
They've been trying. Wrestling games have potential, but they've squandered it, or nobody's
time in and time out and time in.
Yeah, but no one's taken it and done it because people tried, right? The wrestling battle royale game that looked. Like, at least they were trying. Shit.
I tried it. It was okay.
I know, but I was like, this could have been this. Not could have been good. But at least it's a new idea. I don't know. You could suplex someone off a building, which I was like,
yes, I'm here for that.
I love suplex.
We should jump in at some point and see.
I don't know if it's still about.
It's still about. It's still doing its thing.
But the wrestling, it's the right potential for gameplay.
Yeah, that's like they've AEW, the people that are fighting against WWE at the moment, that's a big thing. But AEW, they have released their wrestling game, and everyone's like super hyped for it and whatnot. But they've released a battle royale mode for it, which is 30 wrestlers fighting in like a baseball pitch. And like running each other over with Zambonis and like smack each other with like the last person that wins. But it's like battle royale style, but within actual wrestling gameplay.
I think the problem is,
which I'm curious.
I think the best wrestling game I've played is fucking Gang Beasts,
which we still need to try. Party Animals.
Yeah. But that game feels like a wrestling match to me.
Yeah,
you're literally trying to ring them out.
Beat the you're
trying to beat them up and chuck them out.
It's so good.
Because I was about to say, the big problem with WWE is you're always in the ring.
Yeah,
I'm so off the screen. You're always in the ring.
Yeah,
you're never like anywhere cool except because when you said baseball field,
baseball pitch. Yeah,
baseball pitch. I was like, that'd be cooler. Like, put me somewhere weird. And then I was like, put me in a fucking truck.
Put me on top of a truck. Two trucks that are driving.
Yeah, put me in it. I was like, you know what, Gang Beasts.
Gang Beasts is fucking amazing.
It's
100%. One of the best party games of all time.
Yeah.
That and Crawl are my two favourite party games. Yeah. We've hit the 50-minute mark, so we've got to wrap up soon-ish, but still got 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, no, that party game's amazing.
Party games in general.
Party games rely on 2 or more people, 3 or more people.
Yeah.
Which is difficult to when you're build an industry off. Basically, if we're talking
100%. And that's when they tried to make like, what do we call it? What's the one that's like Gang Beasts, but it's like 100 people sprinting.
Fall Guys?
Like Fall Guys, yeah. That's when you start making games like that. Battle Royale kind of games.
Yeah.
But that was such an ingenious idea, and the timing for it was perfect. It was like lockdown. Prime lockdown, people love Total Wipeout and shit, and it's just like they made a game out of that.
It was after Among Us, I think, or before.
Among Us like was like 2019.
No, but it was the idea of like get a bunch of people in a thing and play with, So it was that phase. Everyone's, like you said, everyone's inside,
and people have chucked out so many different versions of that. Like, have you seen Project Winter?
No.
Project Winter's a quite fun one. Like top down, like 2 people are like the villains and whatnot, but they have to like sabotage shit. Speaking, talking to each other.
It's like a traitor game.
Yeah, a traitor game. There's another one that I really want to try, but I can't remember the name of it. But like you're driving a ship, and you've all got to drive the ship together, and you've got to go find fuel. So you get off, and like you've got to make it through the icy kind of area. It looks brilliant. I'll need to show you at some point. I can't remember the name of it, but it looks amazing.
Sounds like Battle Trauma and Battle.
But it's first person. It's
Sea of Thieves.
It's like Sea of Thieves looking ish. But you get off and you've got to fight like wolves and shit like that. But one of you uses a traitor, and you've got to try and murder everyone. You've got to drive the ship into a wall.
I do love these types of games. Recently, I've been really like those specifically, like Battle Trauma, where you're like, we're doing a thing as a team, and we got to kind of split up the work. Project Zombies doing it, where Alana's been the carpenter, and I've been the do something else guy. And then Sea of
multi-tool.
Multi-tool, yeah. Sea of Thieves was the other one where someone does the sail, someone does the cannon, someone does the driving, and then you kind of swap jobs and repair shit because the ship's down, no one does anything. What was the other one? Factorio is another one where we've got like kind of specialized like jobs, and we're kind of working with one brain to do a thing.
Yeah.
Like tasks like that. But I love moving. I love like having a boat or having a submarine or having a big ship or a ship, like a spaceship, and then trying to get it to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And then things just try and fuck you up, and you got to work as a team. I love that stuff.
We should do Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time as a group. That should be a really fun one.
Yeah, I think I have played that with 4 people.
I've only played it with like 2 or 3.
I have played it with 4 people. It's shitter Battle Trauma.
It's the prototype for Battle Trauma and shit.
It's
one of the initial start off.
It's cute and not that difficult.
Yeah.
After a point, it's kind of like by the books, whereas Battle Trauma is like, oh shit, everything's broken. We need to fix this.
We do need to get Battle Trauma out soon.
Fucking OD'd. Like I got OD'd on morphine because the big bug bit me too hard. It's a disaster simulator. It's really
we love disaster, don't we? People?
Yeah, we do.
Right, on that note, we should probably call it there.
Yes. Thank you very much for listening. If you made it to the end, thank you very much. We shall see you in the next one.
Next time, follow us on the socials and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can listen to us on Spotify, which I should have said ages ago. Again.
Okay.
But
we'll tell you.
Listen to us on Spotify.
Watch us on YouTube. Go see Cameron at We Me Head Productions.
We have We Me Head Productions for games.
You're in for some treats, people. And
yeah.
some treats.
Yep.
All right, we love you. Bye.